typically those ones, but any expired tubes that you have, we can send you fresh tubes for just the cost of shipping.
But it's nothing that our members could do themselves.
For
Cleaning the tubes or refreshing the tubes. I don't want anybody trying that if it's something
no,
they're gonna
goodness, no,
do.
no, no, no. These are I do apologize. That was misleading, wasn't it? In the laboratory, we have a very specific room that has a number of what we consider tube bakers. And so they have a high ramp time with a constant flow of nitrogen gas through them to push and drive all the chemicals off. And then it goes through a check or a quality control process within the laboratory to make sure that that batch is clean.
Any new surprises coming?
We're working and trying to get some information around PFAS compounds in air. It's a hot topic in the soil and water realm.
Could you
And
just
so
go into a little more detail what that is exactly?
PFAS, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're not familiar with it. So per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, these are the compounds that are associated with stain resistance, water repellency, Teflon pans. They're also in a number of fast food materials packaging, that has almost plastic-like surface so that it doesn't become drenched or oil stained, essentially. And what they have found is that these chemical compounds are in mass quantities pretty much everywhere. At this point, they are actually in the air and in the rainwater as well. But that they do bioaccumulate. That's the largest part of the risk, essentially, is that even little bits of exposures that we get throughout our lives as we drink the water. Again, Michigan was terrible about that. We had the Flint water crisis. Now we have PFAS everywhere with a number of locations. But those chemical compounds will build up in your body and can develop adverse side effects. They do anticipate that it's carcinogenic. The number of compounds are carcinogenic. And then it's also known at this point that there are a number of birth defects that can happen through those exposures and having excess levels within your body.
Well, that's not done as VOC testing. That would be actual collection of soil and then sent to the lab or one of your sister labs.
Right now we're doing it in soil and water. But it is something that the EPA has developed a method for large stacks or people manufacturing PFAS compounds, similar to vapor intrusion. So as you get those gas tanks, right, they leak into the ground, and we have the water table that leaks up the vapor into the soil that comes into the inside of our houses. Similarly, vapor intrusion testing for PFAS is coming down the pike. And so that's kind of what we're developing and working on right now.
Yeah, I know a lot of our members, they also do water testing, drinking water, things like that. So I don't know if that would fall into this category of what your labs would be able to test for.
Yep, we actually have 2 labs that specialize. They have a high performance liquid chromatography, HPLC, that performs PFAS compounds, one of which is DoD certified. The other one is almost DoD certified, so Department of Defense. And then we're certified in a number of states for water and soil. So yeah, if you've got questions on it, or if that's something that you need in your area, I can connect you with the right people.
Very good. Very appreciative. Well, I appreciate you spending some time here with us. I know it's cold up there, and it's like, come on, spring. We really want to get outside and, deal with some other issues. I know that you guys have had a lot of snow, and you did mention before about transportation and shipping is impacted. And we see that all over the country. We have people today traveling that weren't able to because their flights were canceled. So yeah, it's unfortunate. So if you are watching this, please take that into account. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. Don't fall into that category.
If that's anything, COVID taught us with lack of employees for the carriers too, right? That's something we've all been battling, regardless of weather across the country. It just so happens that this last week we've had another whirlwind of winter.
It's funny. We're doing a lot of work right now with people under the term essential employees.
Mhm.
And depending on who you are and where your perspective is coming from, what is an essential employee? Well, in the hospitals, the doctors, the nurses, they're essential employees. But nobody thinks about like the cleaning staff. Well, the hospital stops when the cleaning staff stops. So, it's having to revisit all of these different occupations now, and the importance is not so much by the skill of what they do, but of what happens when they don't do what they do.
All true.
So yeah, just something else that affects, again, shipping, transportation, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Sarah, it's been a pleasure. We're gonna have to do this again, and get into a little bit more detail on a few of the other things, but I appreciate you spending the time here today.
I look forward to some more education opportunities. We'll get some topics together.
We're gonna have to have you in on a few more sessions. I'm sure after this we'll have a lot of questions, and maybe visiting again.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Lance. Have a great day.
You too.